Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Megan Yvonne, and today's video we are trying the viral makeup tutorial by Uche Natori. So first off, she starts with a lot of brow product and then she uses the Fenty base primer, but right here I'm just using the e.l.f. poreless putty because that's what I had in my kit. And she went in with the Yummy Skin, and I just went in with my regular foundation, one that I already had in my kit, which was the Makeup Forever HD Skin. So one thing I will note is that between her way of doing her base and my way of doing my base, we have kind of similar techniques. Like, she spends a lot of time on her base and just using a buffing brush and making sure everything is smooth. And I would say those are pretty similar for me. That's pretty similar for me as well. Now, something that is a little different with her and my way of doing my base is that she uses two different types of concealers, and she'll put her usual color on the outer areas and then she'll go in with a lighter color. And she also cream contours. I really don't cream contour on an everyday basis or a regular basis, only when I really want my makeup to be like snatched, if you will. And she also like cream contours, you know, her nose area, above her lip, which is something that I don't do. I kind of feel like it gave me a faux stash. But I think with her, a lot of the things that she did was specific to her facial feature, and because, you know, she was trying to create a certain depth or, you know, highlight a certain area or create one. So right here, I'm just blending out all of the contour while also allowing my concealer to set. So it was a lot of back and forth of the blending. That's one thing I will say. She really uses a lot of product, and she says that in her tutorial. I will link that down for you in the description box as well. But now I'm blending out my concealer, and I'm blending it all out. She uses a brush, so that's really no different from mine. But her placement of her concealer, like around her mouth, where she places concealer, I don't typically place concealer right there. So that was something different as well, and just the way that she blended out the concealer. So I was just like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of product. So that's what that face was right there. And then if you see me looking off to the side, it's because I was watching her tutorial while I was doing my makeup. And originally I had this as a you know, like a talk through tutorial, but like it was long. It was very long, so I had to cut it down. So it was like over an hour. But then she goes in with her beauty blender or makeup sponge, if you will, to blend everything out. And this was definitely needed because it was such a lot of product. So if you are unfamiliar, what the beauty blender does is it not only blends out the product, but it picks up any of that excess product, so you don't have a bunch of product just sitting on your face. So as you can see, it's really giving that beautiful finish. Now I'm going back over with the contour, just blending it out. And again, it was a lot of do something and then go back and blend it out. So right here, this was a step that I added because at that point in the routine, I was looking at her makeup and I was looking at mine, and I was just like, I feel like hers was so much brighter, and I feel like her you know, like right above the contour in her eye area had a little bit more depth. So that's where you see me going in and just adding more concealer and adding more of that contour shade right around like where my eyeshadow would go, and just blending it out. I did go in and blend it out right away, and then I went back over with my beauty sponge and blended everything together. And again, I was just like, it looks more like what she had going on the screen, but I was just thinking like, ooh, this is a lot of product. So then she used a different contour. I just had that one, so I used the same one, and she put that on her temples and blended it down into her already existing contour. So again, you see me just going back and forth. And then finally, she adds some setting spray because, I'm usually adding this a little earlier in my routine, but she drenched her face in setting spray. So when in Rome, that's what we do. And then she added a more so like a closer to her skin tone, a powder to set her under eye and every place that she had highlighted. Now, this was different for me because typically with this step, I would go in with my powder puff. If you watch my videos, you know that I really enjoy my powder puff, but she went in with a brush, so that's what we did. And then she highlighted underneath where she contoured. She placed powder. Then she goes in with her translucent powder over top of that. Now, that's something that, again, I'm used to using my powder puff, and I actually really like this brush for it. She actually mentioned in her tutorial that she used a lot of Smashbox brushes, and this happens to be a Smashbox concealer brush. So I was happy that I had that already in my kit, and it really did work well. I really like how that turned out. But then she goes in to set her contoured areas with her bronzer. So that's what you see me doing here. And she used an angle brush as well. So I'm like, that's pretty similar to my routine. I use an angle brush and I do the same thing with my bronzer to carry it in like where my eyelid area is, and then when placing my contour for my nose to carry it up where my eyebrows are. So again, putting the bronzer over top of my lip, I just felt like I don't understand. It's not giving me the look. It's not working for my face. I didn't I didn't really like that. I did, however, like how she explain how she placed her blush. I really liked the way it looked, the finished look of that. And she just swept it on, and she's just like, kind of sweep it up your face. So I really did like that. So again, that's what I love about makeup, is seeing how other people do their makeup and kind of seeing how other artists create, and seeing what works for you and how your routine is similar to hers. So then I went back in, carved out my cheeks with some more of that powder, and now I'm going in to apply my lip liner. So I'm doing her tutorial, well, not her tutorial, but I'm watching her video, and that's what she did. She did some of her lips, and then she went back to brows. So one thing, she just did like very hair-like strokes. She did mention that she uses a brow gel, and she ensures that she uses a lot of product. As you can see, I was not feeling the brows. I just knew, I was like, this is not gonna work. I don't like the way my brows look. I am gonna have to do something. And then she adds on mascara, and that's all she does. And then she moved on to that point to do her lippy. And this is where things took a turn, okay? So I was trying this new lippy, and I thought like, oh, this is such a gorgeous color, and this is going to really go well with the look. Then she goes in and adds, it's the Charlotte Tilbury powder in the shade 2. I don't have shade 2. I had 3 and 4, so I just went on and added my pink powder. You see me wiping my lips? Yeah, because that stuff started to burn. I mean, I was like, woo, not a little tingle, because I'm used to a little tingle, but it started to burn. So I had to stop, remove it, and then put some Vaseline just to give my lips some TLC, because oh my goodness, was it uncomfortable. It definitely was uncomfortable. I said, oh my gosh, like I've never experienced this before. What is going on? But after I paused and did that, I did go ahead and I was like, yeah, we have to clean up these brows. We definitely have to do something about that. I did go on and I was trying to figure out what the name of it was, what it said, and it was like the Buxom lip plumping serum or something or another. But I just was like, let me just go ahead and take it out my kit, because I don't even want it in my kit. I don't even want to make a mistake or forget and have it in my kit and cause the drama, cause the uncomfortable feeling that I experienced. So I was like, let me go ahead and remove it from my kit. So I did have to go back in and do my lippy. I did use my same liner and same, base, which this was, I believe this was a Too Faced matte liquid lip. But then instead of adding that other topper, I used, it still was a Buxom one, but this is in the shade White Russian, which I love their plumping lip glosses. Those they call them lip polishes, but like it's a gloss, and those never fail me. But that serum, no. That's not my friend. But this is the finished look. I feel like our routines are pretty similar. I will note that she does use a lot of product, and I feel like I can accomplish the look without as much product. This is what it looks like in low lighting. And yeah, that's the finished look. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.